host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The Calling.
And good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on The Calling. Tonight we have Ringo Starr as our guest. Just kidding. No, we don't. I wish we did. He'd be like, well, I'm not going to say another word, without my lawyer. But we do have Kimberly Juarez.
Hi,
That's
Jerry.
There you are. How are you tonight?
Good. I'm doing good.
Good. And Willow Le Marchand.
Wow, Jerry, you got it right.
I can't believe it just came out. It just came out like that. It was like, oh, okay, that felt right. Oh, gosh. So what's new, everybody?
Not much, hanging in there.
Hanging in there. You too, Kim?
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening to our show. We'll see you all next week. Just kidding. So, any big news in the paranormal world, Kim?
No, nothing really. Just that we did that, West Virginia State Penitentiary, and I'm still working on that. So, yep, other than that.
Nothing, you didn't find anything really big?
No, I found some EVPs, so I'll get that all set up and everything, and we'll kind of share it and stuff. That'll be good. So, yeah, I haven't watched my film yet. EVPs take a long time. I'm sorry, folks, but it really does.
Well, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I remember when my team Sim, went up, first time we ever met Bobby Sullivan, and he had us go up to Craigan's, and we just got done with it, and he said, so, okay, we're going to present that tomorrow. And I went, wait, what? And he said, well, you'll have the evidence done by tomorrow, right? I said, are you serious? I said, oh, my God, Bobby, it takes sometimes like a week or so.
Right.
Because we had so much equipment and so many people. And he's like, oh, well, is there anything that we can show tomorrow? So we pretty much stayed up the night going through and just showing what little that we found and stuff. And I remember Katie was so funny because she had a, what do you call it? A DVR system. And first time she's ever used it. Mm-hmm. And she couldn't figure out how to get things off of it. And I just remembered, I think I went into our room, got changed or something. I come back out. She goes, I just hate this. I hate this. I can't do it. It's like, oh, my God. It was so funny. But, yeah, no, it takes a long time to get it done.
Well, we are not like the professionals, the paranormal groups that are on TV, they have actual people that go through their footage for them. So it's not always, sometimes they do, but it's not always like that. It's what you see in the program. So that's why they can get that stuff out to you right away. But in this case, it's going to take a little bit longer, but we did get some good stuff. I do have to admit, all the guys got different things, so it's pretty amazing. But yeah, that's how it works. It's right. Hard. It is hard. So yeah.
I'll be darned.
I work. So on top of that.
Can you hear this? Yeah. It's the world's smallest little violin playing just for you. I'm sorry, Kim. Was I picking on you? No. She's like, yes. Now don't swear at me like on my friend's radio show.
What?
Oh, no, no. Oh, I thought you were going to swear at me.
No.
So, what about you? What about you, Miss Willow?
Well, I'm doing readings for clients still on the phone. That's about it. Phone, FaceTime, and Skype. Always available, folks.
Oh,
Just
well,
willowlaymanshot.com. But that's what I'm doing right now because we don't have tourism. So, New Orleans is pretty much kind of shut down. Our bars are closed, and bars closed here. That means we don't really have tourists. So we don't have a lot going on. I did have a paranormal investigation last week, and I went to the cemetery that I normally go to find out no trespassing signs all over the fence, so we can't go through it anymore. So we were kind of like locked out of our investigation. So didn't get to do that. So now I'm looking for some new locations here.
wow. We have a case next Thursday, and we haven't done in really any cases. We'll talk with people on the phone and stuff like that, but that's about it. But we have a case that we're working on next week. It's over by the Menomin Casino, which is in Menomin, Minnesota, and we're going to drive all the way up there, do an investigation and a clearing during the day and into the evening, and then come back. It's like 3 hours to get there and back again, because I'm not going to stay in someone's house, and I'm not saying that people are nasty. It's just, mask, gloves on and stuff. And I really don't think, that people should be, investigating without that, because it's just not if they get it, but what if you give it, if you're a carrier, or even if you're, you have kids or something like that, you don't want to give it to them. So, and that's another thing too, as a matter of fact. I wish you were closer, Willow, because Karen was saying, come visit me. She wanted to do a blessing on her land. And it's way up north, past my hometown, Bemidji. And I was hoping to be up in Bemidji soon. And I think that would be just a blast to go up there. And I know, Karen, you'd enjoy us being up there, and you'd make a special apple pie just for me. And everybody can have like little scoop of ice cream, and that's it. Where does that come from? That's, oh, God, it's dinner.
Well, I was planning on doing a lot of traveling this year, but, there was something that got in the way, so I've kind of been grounded here, so I didn't get my traveling in like I wanted, so we'll see.
Gotcha. Well, I put in Willow's link to her website if anybody would like to get a reading from her or anything like that, or just tell her, how can you stand, being on a show with a demented person like Jerry. So anything like that.
That works.
That's what?
That works.
That works. Steve's asked a question. Do you think certain people pick up more EVPs than others? Let's go to Kimmy first on this. Kim, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they do. I think sometimes it depends. I want to say, like what type of investigation you're doing or a situation. And I think more people get certain EVPs than others. Plus, I think even too, if I'm not, I think that even if that spirit or that may get like interested in that person, maybe sees their energy better or something like that than most, I would say too as well. So yeah, I think that Willow.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think certain people do pick up on more EVPs than others. I mean, honestly, what I have found is if a person is more sensitive, I think the spirits connect to them a little bit better. And I have found that with different ones of the investigators that I've been with. We can all be in separate areas and somebody's going to pick up something in that room, but another person goes in there and gets nothing. So, yeah, I do think it depends on the person.
Absolutely.
No, I definitely agree on that too. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I'm not going to point any fingers at you, Steve Breaker, but we had a guy on our team up in northern Minnesota that he was like a cooler. That's what I called him, the cooler, because, like in a casino, if somebody's doing really good and stuff, and if somebody, is actually hired as a cooler, because not saying they have the worst luck possible, but it stops stuff, stops people's luck. They have them go stand next to them, and we had an EVP or an EVP session going, and we were doing pretty good, and the K2 was going crazy and stuff. And Steve, come on over, just stop. And poor Steve, I felt so bad for him because he goes, they just don't like me. They just don't like me at all. And, it's not that they don't like him. I think, sometimes I think spirits, and some of the reasons that some people get less EVPs. What the heck was that? I'm sorry about that. My phone all of a sudden turned on by itself, and that freaked me out. It's asking me for advice or something. It's like, wow.
Spirit.
Okay.
It was a spirit. It was a ghost.
Yeah, that was just weird. So I lost total track. Oh yeah, okay. So when some people are on the team and they're doing EVP sessions, definitely some spirits may not want to converse with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, it lessens the chance of EVPs, or there's something within them, or even more like they have protection from the outside to take everything away. Now, some people on our team just refuse to be smudged, in the beginning. They want the full effect of being able to do it. Yeah. So yeah. And like Steve says, he says, evil spirits do not like me for some reason. That's because you're badder than them, Steve. You're like the Larry Holmes of the paranormal world. They ain't gonna mess with you. So, and then what else we have here? Yeah, for one of the reasons I left Sim, just didn't want to go into residence any longer. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's, I sometimes don't like going into. Kimberly, do you like doing residential places?
Well, it's a hit and miss, with residential ones. I think this year I kind of got tired of doing some residential ones. I mean, I've done a couple of farm places and stuff like that, but this year I really wanted to do more of the haunted already paranormal. So when those guys asked me to go along with them, I just jumped on it because I figured, I really wanted to do something that was already haunted, and just to see how I worked with that, because I really, I think the only place I've been was to No Pinning with you, Jerry, and that was it. That was the most, I think, I want to say, I can't remember, but I mean, majority of the time I do a lot of residential because I like to help people. But this year I kind of want to touch bases on something that's more on the haunted side, or, stuff like that, to see if I would get the same reactions that other people would get. I don't know.
Right.
So to me, I'm kind of low right now, especially right now with that whole thing that's going on right now, wearing the mask and everything. Yeah. So it's just better sometimes to do things that are, and it wasn't very many of us that went, which was really absolutely fantastic. I mean, we had the whole place to ourselves, and there was only 3 plus maybe 3 other people, and then that was it, and come on, that's the best that's the best way to do it. So,
right.
So we're just trying to stay. Yeah. So right now I'm just kind of doing some stuff that's a little bit on the haunted side. But yeah.
Right. What about you, Willow?
For me, right now, the only places that we can go here are the cemeteries, basically. And now, since they put that no trespassing sign up on my favorite one that was open at night, now I can only go into the daytime cemeteries. But I still get some good stuff. Like, we have some really amazing, huge, crypts here in what's it called? Lake Lawn Cemetery. And you can go in there during the day. It's like 65-acre cemetery. It's massive. It used to be actually a horse track before it was turned into the cemetery. And lots of our famous people are buried in there. Lots of Civil War soldiers are in there that couldn't be transported back to their homes. So we have like different Confederate soldiers, tombs in there. But there are some that are left open, and we can actually go inside. And we can get some good stuff in there. So I really enjoy those. And there's one that's more of, it's for the lower income, more of a paupers type of Potter's Field cemetery. And we can go in there during the daytime, and they take my phone over and start snapping pictures of things that I never took. Wow. So lots of activity in there as well. So it's basically the cemeteries here is all I can do right now. I do love some of the hotels, but I don't even think all of them are open. So
right.
I know you guys are still really closed up there, huh?
Like too closed. Like the mayor won't even allow to-go drinks, and that's what we're famous for. So it's like not only did they close the bars for sit-in, now they've also made it so you can't even get a to-go drink and drink it on the street like we normally would do, walking around the French Quarter. But we still have drive-through daiquiri shops. So we can still get our drive-through daiquiri on as long as you come over by me because I'm in a different parish.
That's great. That is great.
Okay.
But yeah, it's hurting the tourism.
Right. Oh, I suppose. Question for Willow. This is from Karen. What are your favorite outdoor places to investigate? So I think she's asking, any outdoor place other than just what you can go to now.
The other location that I get a lot from is in the French Quarter. I've picked up a lot around Jackson Square because that was where they had the gallows and the guillotine. That was the original town square. So, and the firing squad, all of that. And even the French did a lot of torture in the square. So that is a real strong place to get some good evidence. And also we have the French market area. I'm trying to remember what it used to be called, but it used to be our red light district. And it was where like they would come in, and that's kind of where one of the places that Shanghai term happened, because they would get them drunk and they would take them away and put them on a ship. And so we have that area too. And there's like one of the restaurants, the Louisiana Pizza Kitchen, that had a mass murder in it at one point back in the 80s or 90s. So I get things outside of that business. Wow. I've talked to some of the people there that died that day. So there's some really interesting places that are outside that you don't have to go in.
Right.
Oh, I'll be darned. Wow. Okay. Steve was asking, why does my spray seem to work on evil spirits? Well, it's too calming. I do believe Kat's right on that, that it is. Okay, before we get to the main topic, because our main topic is dreams, but I got some questions here that are been sent to me. One is, do you feel, we're going to start with Kim first, that wearing a mask is going to hurt doing EVP sessions?
I think so. I think
really?
So in a way. Yeah. Well, it's a yay and a nay. I mean, because when I was walking around, I actually took off my mask because we were separated, and I figured since we're separated, we didn't have to really wear the mask. Although, I don't know, maybe not. Well, maybe not. I mean, who's to say? I just think that for them to be able to hear you and to be able to respond to you, because you're wearing this mask and they're not realizing what's going on, I don't know, maybe it would just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that maybe it would, in a way, in a sense, because they don't even know why you're wearing a mask. And, just that sense, I'm just saying.
Right. What about you, Willow?
Well, for instance, the one cemetery I go to has mass graves from the yellow fever and from the Spanish flu epidemic.
Yep.
Okay. So during the Spanish flu, a lot of people wore masks. That was a big thing back then. So I don't think the spirits that were from that time period that are in there have any issue with it.
Right.
Now, others, though, because they didn't understand, why are you covering your face? And I think they need to see us in order to interact with us better. And it's just like with human beings. It's like, I'd like to see somebody's face, and I can't hear as well as I used to. I had trouble today, even at the store, trying to hear the lady in the butcher area, in the meat area, because I couldn't see her lips moving. I couldn't hear her with all the noise. So
Right.
I think it's inhibiting, and I do think that it can affect getting any good evidence. I don't think the spirits are going to want to talk to us.
I do have to agree with you on that, and my reasoning is that so you may be in a place where spirits are always talking with you and stuff like that. They see you in a mask. What if they passed away or died, and the person had a mask on, doctor or whatever, and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Fear on the other side. And plus, too, who said something in here? They don't have ears or something. But here's what's going on, is that maybe they can't hear us as good as, with a mask on, than how we hear them. Sometimes it's very muffled when you're doing an investigation. And, beside that, too, I mean, wearing a mask, for me, smears my lipstick. Though I understand.
I found some good stuff. I'll recommend some, Jerry. It's good. Yeah, it's a lip stain. It doesn't come off. You're good.
Okay. Let's see now. Let's see if we have any more questions. I'm not making fun of it, you guys. I mean, it's a really good question. Who sent me that? Real good question, because I can see where it could happen,
Right.
especially if you're at a place and then all of a sudden, they can't see a face. How do they know that is a mask?
Well, what we did was that day that we did this investigation, we told them what was going on. We let them know that this was a pandemic, and was there any clues back in time, could they relate, to what was happening? So that's what we did, just to see, but I don't know if we got any, response back on that. So we'll see.
Right. Someone should do some research. You're right, Karen. That would be a good thing to do. Jerry needs to get a doll to super EVPs. Sherry, I swear, but I can't because there's no swearing on the show. So, okay. But we can't see them either. And don't they really see our energy? Well, yes and no. That's the thing is, so many people will say, well, they see our energy, so they know.
Mm-hmm.
How do they know that?
Right.
We're not going to know none of this stuff. Really, it's all theory, certain things that are said like that, until we die, and then we'll be able to see it. I mean, that's just the way it is, Yes, I do take my Care Bear along, Cat. To you. Okay, they don't have eyes to see, ears to hear. That's actually a really good question of doing some research on that. And I think that's actually going to be a good point on when we go to that house on Thursday, a week from tomorrow, when we drive up there. I think that's really going to be a good, I'm going to take a look at that, Karen. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was Karen that did say that, right? And if it was Kat, I'm still going to say
it was
Karen said it.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Karen.
All right. Well, okay. So the reason for the show tonight, other than entertainment and, comedy relief too, we're going to talk about dreams. Okay. So Willow, take it from there. Dreams.
All right. Well, I thought it would be a great topic for us because dreams just kind of encompass so many things. All right. We have prophetic dreams. We have dreams that could possibly be an astral travel kind of experience that we don't even know we're doing. Sometimes I get messages in my dreams. I'll like go into a meditation specifically asking for some divine information and wake up knowing exactly what I need. And I've gotten it through a dream. So I think dreams can be multiple things, and we're multidimensional beings. So we could be going into other dimensions or maybe different lifelines that our spirit is actually going through. I know I've had some very strange dreams that really felt like I was awake, that I was actually in this place. It's just the same people I knew were there, but like I had a different role than what I have now in this life. And I think that's maybe a dimensional kind of jump that we can do when we're in our dream state. So I think we have a lot of things to discuss when it comes to dreams.
Right. Exactly. So somebody just messaged me. This is great. I love getting the messages. That means this person is actually listening to us on TuneIn app. Dreams tell you what you really know about something and what you really feel. They point you towards what you need for growth, expression, health, to your relationships, to a person, place, and thing. We talk about dreams coming true. We're talking about our ambitions, thoughts. Let's go with Kim first.
Well, like when I dream, a lot of the times when I do dream, I get you get paralyzed in dreams, and I get that often. I also get like the deja vu, but I usually dream it. I never see it, and just like if you're during the day, but I do dream it, and I get it a whole lot. So, I think dreams have lots of meanings. I think you can do anything in dreams. You can, and that was one thing too. Well, I was wondering about meditation. I mean, are we really dreaming through meditation, or are we visualizing that sense of could it be both? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was one question I was thinking about, and you just hit it on the nose when you said that. Is are we really dreaming when we meditate? So, I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
I know when I do my meditations, sometimes I'm just getting like downloading information. Okay. But there are other times when I drift off into that dreamlike state. And I do believe that's when we're kind of being taken to another dimension or shown things that we need to see.
Right.
And so that's where I get with is it an astral travel kind of thing that we're doing without knowing it into a different dimension that maybe we need to know something for this life, this line that we're on in comparison to what's going on in another one. So I think we're getting a lot of information. Yeah, I think sometimes it's that visual and sometimes it's more audio that we're downloading.
Okay. So go ahead, Jerry.
Oh, you seen me.
Hi, Jerry.
So I just got another message, actually coming through email, from Sergeant. Boy, I'm not even going to try to say what your name is, because I'm going to. They're listening to us, our troops overseas, and he says that his dreams come as warnings, which a lot of them do.
Yes.
We feel that when the warnings come in our dreams, we do everything we can to either stay away or to surround that certain area and everything. And if you cannot pray, you believe the dreams will be changed in a positive way. What's your thoughts on that? I really think so. I think, that sometimes, like your spirit guide or your ancestor is looking out for you. So, I believe that ancestors or, spirit guides, whatever, can come through your dreams and even, tell you about things that may be happening. And he's saying, too, that they've had multiple people at the exact same time having pretty much the exact same dream in the exact same mountain area the next morning. So, yeah, no, I totally believe in that. And I think that's really interesting. That's way cool. Way cool. And this is the same sergeant that he's only got less than 3 months left. So as soon as he gets back, he's coming on the show to talk about the paranormal over there, because he's big into it. And then also listening to The Calling and The Gathering, and how much it means to them to hear the stories of what's going around here, especially in places that they live at and everything. So, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, you guys want to take it?
Well, I actually had a dream that prevented me from going to an eye appointment this week. That night, I was ready to go to the eye doctor in the morning, and my eye doctor happens to be in a hospital. So I had set up the appointment, and it was just a checkup, nothing major. And that night before that, I had a dream that I was in the hospital. I had set my things down like you do in an eye appointment, right? You go in one room, you put your stuff down, then you have to go another room and go to this machine, whatever. And I did that. And just as I left my things in that room, the fire alarm went off. And they said we all had to evacuate the building immediately. And I go and I run to grab my things to evacuate, and I come back and everybody's already gone but me. And then I see one lady security guard. Now I'm seeing flames at the ceiling and coming through vents. And I said, how do I get out of here? She goes, well, don't take the elevator. I'm like, no kidding. How do I get out of here? She goes, well, the stairwell's got smoke in it now. She goes, they'll come and get us. And then I woke up and I'm like, I'm not going to that eye appointment tomorrow morning.
Wow.
I would not go to the hospital. And that whole day, I felt like I was putting out fires. It was like one thing after another as well that I had to work on that day. So I think they can give us warnings. And that was a minor one, but, I think they can give us warnings.
Right. No, I agree with you on that. Kimberly?
Well, when I dream, I think a lot of the time it's something like one time my aunt, and I didn't even know, she got in a car accident. Oh, well.
Yeah, we went past break.
Yeah, we did. Okay, so we should go on break.
Oops.
We'll be right back, and then Kimberly will finish up with what she's saying. Sorry, everybody. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Whether you're listening at home, at work, or anywhere, thanks for making Para X part of your day. Your source for everything paranormal, Para X.
It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterwards return again. Nothing is dead. People find themselves dead and endure the mock funerals and mournful obituaries. And there they stand, looking out the window, sounding well, in some new and strange disguise. This secret must be told to the world, and they must tell it. Because they're not dead, we know this, and we'll prove it. So join Mike and Dave every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for the Odyssey Files. Only on Parax.
Geek ladies Sean and Victoria from Exploring the Paranormal with Geeks Paranormal are at it again with another amazing season full of paranormal celebrity interviews with amazing guests and stories of haunted locations and so much more. You will hear it first on Para X. Tune in Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. You will not be disappointed.
Hey there. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a great new radio show on Para X. 2 hosts, 1 hour, and too much fun. Stephanie and Heidi not only talk about the latest goings-on in the supernatural worlds, they live it. They want to hear from you. They want to help you understand and guide you. And they want you to tune in. So, grab a friend or come alone to gather around that metaphysical table with Heidi and Stephanie. If you're interested in the worlds of the unseen, tune in to the Gathering Radio Show, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Para X Radio.
And we're back. This is Jerry with the call-in, along with Kimberly Juarez and Willow Lemachant. And we are talking dreams. Now, if you didn't get last week's show, shame on you, but you have a second and third chance to get it, because you can actually go to the callinradioshow.com and you can find it there, and you can click on it and you'd be like, God, Jerry's voice is so awesome. Or you can go to YouTube, the Calling Radio Show, click on subscribe, people, and you can also hit that little bell, ding, and it'll actually notify you once we put something in there so you don't miss it. You know, that's the big thing. But other than that, Para X has got tons of entertainment. On Tuesday nights, you have The Gathering. Ladies of The Gathering every Tuesday and night from 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And they're awesome, Stephanie and Heidi. And then you have Geeks Paranormal right after us. So there's so many shows that are out there. Have fun with them and stuff. So let's go back to Kimberly there. So Kimberly, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you, but I just noticed that we had break coming.
No, I was just kind of touching bases about how dreams are, and I just think that sometimes for me, I get it's like a warning. Like I said, my aunt ended up in a car accident. It was so bizarre, and I even called her up and I said, Auntie, I had this dream that you were in a car accident, and sure enough, she was. So some of these dreams, for me, are real, and I really don't dream so much either. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I've had some really bizarre where I actually felt like if I was really there at that particular place, and it felt so real. You could feel the air, you could smell certain things, and just really bizarre and really horrible dreams, But yeah, so yeah, to me, when I dream, it's a real thing. You know, I have to really pay attention to the dream. So.
Awesome. Excellent. Wimberly. No, it's Willow. Oh, my God.
I have a new name.
Yeah, it's you and Kimberly put together. It's Wimberly.
It's like the K-On, or what is it? Oh, no, Jerry. There we go. That's great, Jerry. I love it.
Oh, the crap that comes out of my mouth. So anyway, Willow.
And?
Well, I know, here I am farting around too much that you kind of lost track. Okay, so Steve's asking, lucid dreams is where you wake up in a dream and you realize it. What is, okay, so if you are sleeping and you wake up within a dream and you realize it, is there any kind of message there?
Well, it's very interesting because you can then at that point control the dream. Mm-hmm. And I've done it, and it's so cool. I don't get to do it very often. It's like, oh my God, I get to lucid dream. And it's like in the dream, I'm thinking to myself, I get to lucid dream. This is awesome. And I can like make whatever I want to have happen. And if something bad is happening, I go, oh, this is a dream. I can stop that right now. So that is a really cool thing. So lucid dreaming, it sometimes takes practice, but you can train yourself to do it. So I would highly recommend, if you've never tried that you start to work on the meditations of lucid dreaming, and you can like start telling yourself all the time, I'm awake. If you do that while you're awake, then when you're asleep, you can say, I'm actually awake. I'm not dreaming. And then you can make things happen. It's a lot of fun.
But is there any importance to that, such as, connection or anything? Pretty much not. It's more of just entertainment purposes only.
Well, I think in a way that if we can understand that we can have control in our dream state, that it gives us more control in our awake state. Because a lot of times we might feel like we're out of control. We're not in control of our life. Things are happening. It's chaotic. But what if we were able to say, I can control my dreams. Therefore, I can also control what's going on when I'm awake. And no longer allow that chaos to affect us. I think it gives us more power, self-empowerment, and control in our own lives. So I really think that lucid dreaming teaches us a lot. Yes, it's a fun little exercise to do, but in the long run, I think it does help us psychologically.
Right.
What about you, Jerry? You don't have like a real intense dream that you've had and maybe it came true and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I've had many, but I mean, to be lucid like that, not really. No. The ones like I said, when I first started living at that hotel, those dreams were vivid and they were real, and it really, really happened. And I hated it. I just, after a while, it's like I don't want to know, type of thing. But the lucid dream, I don't remember ever having one where then I could be like the superhero in it or anything like that. If I have bad dreams, it's really usually pretty bad and stuff. But nothing.
Well, they say nightmares, like bad dreams, are caused by stress, fear, trauma, emotion, and difficulties, illness, and using certain medications or drugs that can happen.
That is 2 years of my life.
Right. Well, no, I'm just saying that those are the things that may cause these types of nightmares. Like, okay, so for instance, I had to have surgery on my leg, and I had these multiple surgeries, to be truthful. And they had kept putting the medicine through my IV, and I kept passing out. Well, they got to a point where all of a sudden I was in this dream because I was crying and I was probably like 12, I want to say. And I'm crying, and then finally they gave me medicine and I fell back to sleep or I don't remember anything. But all I remember is having this horrible nightmare where all of a sudden I see the floor open up around me, around the bed of the hospital. And you see these hands reaching out and grabbing my legs and pulling me in the hole, which was full of heat, full of darkness, full of red, just like bubbling. And I was trying to pull myself back up into the bed. I'm 12 years old. What happened was I end up overdosing. I was on an overdose because they put too much. They weren't regulating. They were, nurse after nurse after nurse. So that's what gave me that horrible nightmare. I mean, and to this day, I still question it because I'm thinking, is there really a place like this? I'm still like, because it was so real. Do you see what I mean? But again, all I remember is they put that stuff in your nose to wake you up because you're unconscious. And they were putting that stuff, and I wake up, and my mom's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she said that she was seeing me going through this horrible dream. And that's what made her go to the nurses. And you know what I mean? So I just thought I'd share that. But I just think that that's bizarre, that those types of nightmares can happen from just stress or whatever,
Right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Sherry had wrote in there that I had a dream about dying. I did, but it's weird because 2 years ago, I was living in this hotel, and I was in a lot of pain. I had, a lot, and I had been taking some medication for it too, and I kept having this one dream all the time. It was on 3/27. I was going to die. on that day. And in the dream, I see myself at the center, which is Echo Bodine's place over off of Chicago and 50th. And Bobby Sullivan's there, and Steph and Casey and everybody else and stuff. And I'm looking around, and I'm trying to talk to people, and they're not talking to me. And it was like, this is too weird,
Mm-hmm.
And I seen this sign, it's Celebrate of Life of Jerry Ayers. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
And then Bobby gets up and he said, can everybody please get seated? He said, we're here tonight to celebrate Jerry Ayers' life. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm right here. So I'm hearing him, and I'm like, this is not real. I'm here, Bobby. And for a brief moment, Bobby and eyes met, and he didn't say a word. He just kept staring. So I know that I made myself clear to him that I was there. And then he slowly started going about doing stuff, and he started smudging, and it was like I was getting pulled out through the door, and then I woke up from it. So now this certain nightmare, if you want to call it, happened 3 weeks straight, every single night. And this is no kidding, but I got to tell you guys this, and I laugh at this now. And I shouldn't have been mad at the girl for doing it, but I told a friend about it. And what did she do? She thought I was going to commit suicide. So on 3/26, she called the police. And I'm sitting there, and it's on a Tuesday, and I'm listening to The Gathering. And I'm eating dinner. And all of a sudden I get a phone call, and I look at it. I don't recognize the number, and I just hung it up. And it happened again, and I hung it up. And it happened a third time, and I went, yes, hello. And they said, this is the St. Paul Police Department. I go, what? And they said, we need you to come out of your room. And I said, yeah, okay, whatever. And they said, this is Jerry Ayers, right? I said, yeah, room 420. And I said, yeah. And they said, do you carry a firearm? And I said, yes, I do. Where is it? It's on my side. You need to take it off and put it on the bed and come out with your hands up. And I'm like, what are you talking about, And so I walked outside, and I just peeked. And there was 5 officers on one side, 3 officers behind me, with guns and shotguns and everything.
Wow, Jerry.
And they're like, just come out. And I couldn't walk. I needed my cane. And I said, I can't walk. I need my cane. And so they said, use the wall to steady yourself. So I did. And as I'm walking down there, I'm going towards them and stuff, and they're telling me you need to turn around, face away from us and walk backwards. And I said, all right, guys, I'm starting to get a little upset if this is a joke or what. And then they were going to put me in cuffs. I said, you put me in cuffs, we have a huge problem because I can't be put into cuffs. I have the fear of being claustrophobic and everything. Mm-hmm. So they just had me sit down, and they said, so you're thinking of killing yourself? And I said, where the frick are you guys getting this stuff from? Then they said the person's name, and I said, oh my God. I said, it's a dream I keep having. I told her about my dream. And they're like, well, she told us. And I said, I don't care what she told you. I said, maybe you should check her because she sits there smoking dope at least 5-6 hours a day. I said, so you got to think about that. And they said, well, what kind of dream? And so I told them, thank you, Kat. I told them, what's been happening, but I've been having this dream for the past 3 weeks. And I said, and here's another thing too. If I did commit suicide, I said, I would have done that a while back, because how long does it take to get ashes? And they said, oh, it could be anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. I said, exactly. Tomorrow's the 27th. I go to my funeral.
Oh, yeah.
So I would have been dead by now.
Right.
And one cop looks at me and goes, so what are you talking about? I said, paranormal. And they said, what do you mean? You'd believe in that crap? And I said, listen to me. When you're out there and you're on the street and stuff like that, and there's a full moon, people get kind of wild, don't they? He goes, yeah, they do. You believe in the paranormal.
They believe that.
Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so that's what's going on here. I said, now I'm going to go back and finish my dinner, and you can call this busybody and just, I was just so upset, and people were calling me that know me there, and they're like, Jerry, are you okay? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so stupid. So the next day, I started thinking about it. I thought, okay, if I'm not dead, what's going to be happening? And then it just, boom, hit me. It's a visitation. I'm about to have a visitation. So at exactly midnight, 3:27, okay, it turned to 3:27. I'm awoke by something. I had to go to the bathroom is what it was. So I went to the bathroom and everything, and I washed my hands, and the toilet takes forever to flush or to fill back up. Mm-hmm. And I come walking out, and here is my mother standing in the corner. She died in 1976. And she's just sitting there, and she's smiling at me and stuff. And I'm like, what the heck? And she walked towards me, and I sat down in the bed, and I looked over, and here's Steph's mom and dad. Mm-hmm. They're both standing there. And they're both smiling, and her mother comes over to me, and she touches me, and she said, it's okay. She said, everything is going to be just fine. I forgive you. And then I just started bawling. Oh, my God. I just started crying like crazy and everything. And so I walked back into the bathroom to get some tissues, and I come back out. They're both gone, and the toilet's still running on. It finally stops. So it happened. It was a visitation. Now, I could tell you more what happened, why she forgave me and stuff, but I'm not going to get into that. Right. It was an incredible visitation that I've had. And that was the last time I seen my mother after she passed was in 1982, that bad car accident I had and everything. Mm-hmm. So it was nuts. It was really crazy. So, so what is your point, about visitations and dreams, whichever one want to take it?
Go ahead, Willow.
Well, I get visitations and dreams, but it's like when I get them, I always know that it's a visitation because my mom shows up. And I've had some pretty strange visitations. But anytime, I call her my technician, because when she comes in my dream, I'm like, who am I going to see now? And it's generally nobody I know or I've ever met. I might know who they are. Maybe they were somebody famous or whatever. The strangest one I ever got was Davy Jones from the Monkees. About 6 weeks after he died, my mom came to me. She goes, can you fix this guitar? And I'm like, I don't know how to fix a guitar, Mom. I don't know how to do that. She goes, that's what he told me you were going to say. Come with me. And she brings me.
Oh, my gosh. That's great.
She brings me into this, like, a community center, and everybody's sitting around, like, card tables playing board games and cards. Mm-hmm. And she brings me over to this table where my, childhood crush is sitting there, of course, deceased, Davy Jones of the Monkees. And I'm like, hi, Davy. Your horses are fine. Your kids are taking care of them. Everything is good over here. Are you okay? And he's like, oh, I know. But seriously, can you fix the guitar? And I'm like, Davy, I don't know how. And he goes, you're going to take this literally? I'm like, oh. Long story short, it was a friend. He knew he needed some assistance and that I would be the one on this side to help him. So, yeah, long story short, can I fix the guitar? But that's how I know I have a visitation, when my mom brings me somebody. But I was really kind of grateful. And then I found out, I didn't know that he knew Davy Jones, my friend. And he did. Oh. They were friends. And I had no idea. He'd never mentioned him. So that was kind of cool.
That's neat.
That was kind of like my confirmation.
Yeah, exactly.
That was an actual visit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Wow. She has Davy Jones coming to her. Can I get your autograph?
Right? Should I sign it Willow Lamashon or Davy Jones?
I think the new name.
Oh, Wimberly.
Wimberly. Oh.
That's funny. That's funny. But no, it's dreams are just incredible, especially having ones that really mean something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's weird is that when I do readings, when I do the smudge readings and everything, it's it almost seems like a dream because I'm awake and I'm staring into the coals to get the reading, and everything's blocked out, so it's just like a dream, except for I can see, but I can't hear anything that's going on. But all the body motion and stuff like that is, the same. So there. Awesome. So we got 4 minutes left, ladies. Actually, 3. So what do we got next?
I don't know. What do we got next, Jerry?
Well, next week we have, I always forget his name. I'm looking it up. Oh, we got Craig Buffington. Craig is a paranormal investigator, and he also has a group on Facebook that they talk about different types of things and stuff like that. That actually caught my eye, and it's like, I need to know more about this guy and what he does and stuff like that. He's founder and lead investigator of Old Ghost Patrol in, where is that at? In Atco, New Jersey. So I'm sure he's got some kind of, weird thing or weird accent. So we can make fun of him. I mean, if he's not good, we can just go, oh, do you go to the beach much? Or however they talk, sorry. No, I'm kidding. I know he's listening tonight, so I'm only kidding with you. I think it's going to be a really good show. They're going to be playing some EVPs and everything.
Nice.
We'll be listening to, so that'll be a blast. And then, Willow, you have a guest coming on, which you and Kimberly, so maybe that's why I came up with Wimberly, are going to be taking over the show for a night. Just those two crazy little ladies, and then we also have oh my gosh, what is her name? My buddy, Valentina Lomborg.
I was just going to say it.
Riley is going to be on.
Nice.
And we've got a lot of really good guests coming up and everything, and we're spacing them pretty good just in case, not something better, but other topics come up, and sometimes you gotta take those topics and just run with the team, Yep. So there. Oh, yes, he is listening.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Craig, I'm not going to make fun if you have any accent. I was just having fun with that.
My best friends are both from New Jersey. It's okay.
That's one place I've always wanted to go is New Jersey. I don't want to meet Snooki, though, because I would end up killing her.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, this is the end of the show, guys. We're at the end, and I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the Wimberleys for coming on. Thank you, Sarge and Para X. And thank you to the troops for sending in your questions. That was great. Awesome.
Yes, thank you, guys.
And, be safe out there. And thank you, everybody. And stay tuned for Geeks Paranormal. And thank you, Sarge.